Hello all, and welcome to today's maths lesson. Today sees the start of Unit 9.04, which is all on indices, powers and roots. And today the learning objective is to know how to use the multiplication law. You'll see what that is in a minute and learn about it in today's lesson. So shown on the board are 6 questions, 6 starter questions. This is your knowledge retrieval. Please pause the video here for 10 minutes and work through these 6 questions. Have a green pen ready because we'll go through the answers afterwards. Please pause the video here. So shown on the board are your 6 questions and 6 answers, so please mark in green pen, tick those that you got right and correct any that you either didn't do or may have made mistakes on. Please be ready to move on to the first I do and we do of today's lesson. So as I said before, the learn objective is to know how to use the multiplication law, and this is in regards to indices, the multiplication law. What do we do with these powers when we multiply the numbers? So you'll see the first I do says example 1, write as a single power, and it's 4 to the power 3 times 4 to the power 2 times 4 to the power 7, and we've got to write that as a single power. So our answer is going to be 4 to the power something. So here are the steps. Check all the base numbers are the same. So in this case, 4 to the power 3, 4 is the base number, 4 to the power 2, 4 is the base number, 4 to the power 7, 4 is the base number. Yes, all base numbers are the same. And then we add the powers. So this is what the multiplication law of indices is. When we're multiplying the same base number raised to an indice, when we're multiplying 2 of these, or 3 of these, or however many, we add the powers for our final answer. So you see that 4 to the power 3 times 4 to the power 2 times 4 to the power 7 is actually equal to 4 to the power of 3 plus 2 plus 7, which is equal to 4 to the power of 12. So we literally just add these 3 powers. 3 plus 2 plus 7 gives me 12. So this is equal to 4 to the power 12. Please pause the video here, copy down the I do, and then try the we do yourselves. We'll go through the answer in a minute. Okay, so for the first one, 5 to the power 4 times 5 to the power 6 times 5 to the power 3. We can check the base numbers are all 5, yes, they're all the same. And for our answer, to write this as a single power, it's going to be 5 to the power of 4 plus 6 plus 3. These 3 powers added together. 4 plus 6 plus 3 gives 13, so this is equal to 5 to the power 13. Okay, so for the next example, we have 4 to the power 3 times 4 to the power 0 times 4 to the power 7. And this is much the same. We're still using the multiplication law, and we just add these 3 powers. So 4 to the power 3 times 4 to the power 0 times 4 to the power 7 is going to be equivalent to 4 to the power of 3 plus 0 plus 7, which gives me 10. So it's 4 to the power of 10. Please copy that example down and then go on to the we do. We'll go through the answer in a moment. So for the first we do, 5 to the power 4 times 5 to the power 0 times 5 to the power 3, that's going to be equal to 5 to the power of 4 plus 0 plus 3, which is 5 to the power 7. Give yourself a tick and green pen if you got that right. Really well done if you did. Be ready for the next example. Okay, so example 4 sees a slightly different example because in this one we've got a negative power. So 4 to the power negative 3 times 4 to the power 7, but it's still the same process. Our answer is going to be 4 to the power of negative 3 plus 7, which gives me 4 to the power of 4. Negative 3 plus 7 gives 4, so it's 4 to the power 4. Please copy that down and then go on to the we do and try that yourselves. So 5 to the power negative 4 times 5 to the power 3. Negative 4 add 3 gives negative 1, so it's 5 to the power of negative 1. Give yourself a tick and green pen if you got that right, and correct it if you made a mistake. Okay, so for our last example on the multiplication law, shows two negatives this time. So we've got 4 to the power negative 3 times 4 to the power negative 7. And again, we use the same law. We add these two powers, so it equals 4 to the power of negative 3 add negative 7. Negative 3 add negative 7 is 4 to the power negative 10. Please pause the video here and try the redo for yourselves. And for that we do 5 to the power negative 4 times 5 to the negative 3. Negative 4 add negative 3 gives negative 7, so it's 5 to the power of negative 7. Really well done if you got that right. So shown on the board are your first set of questions, 9 questions on the board. Please pause the video here and try those 9 questions. Give yourself 10 minutes to work through those 9. And now for question 2, we have 6 questions, and here we have some negatives, and we even have 3 or 4 numbers being multiplied down here. So please pause the video here for 5 to 10 minutes and work through these 6 questions. We'll go through the answers afterwards. Pause the video now, please. So on the board are your answers to question 1 and question 2. Question 1's at the top, question 2's at the bottom. Please mark in green pen and just tell me how many you got right. 15 questions there. So I want to see if anyone got 15 out of 15 on that. Okay, so moving on to the next step, which is using the multiplication law and rewriting calculations. So again, we're being asked the same thing. We're being asked to write as a single power. And you'll see the first I do says 64 times 8 to the power 7. And it's all about spotting a little trick here. And that little trick is that 64 is equal to 8 squared. Okay? So 64 is equal to 8 squared. So we can rewrite this 64 as 8 squared. So if we rewrite this calculation below with 8 squared in place of 64, 8 squared times 8 to the power 7 equals 8 to the power of 2 plus 7, which equals 8 to the power of 9. So it's all about spotting that 64 is 8 squared, and that's how we get started on this. Please pause the video here and copy down the I do, and then try the we do for yourselves, looking at this 81 and seeing what you can spot with regards to 9. Okay, so if you've had a go at that, you should have spotted that 81 is equal to 9 squared. So we can rewrite this calculation with 9 squared in place of 81. That leaves us with 9 squared times 9 to the power 6, which we know is equal to 9 to the power of 2 plus 6, which is 9 to the power of 8. Give yourself a tick in green pen if you got that right. Or if you made a mistake, that's absolutely fine. Just correct it now in green pen and be ready for the next example. Okay, so this time we've got 64 again, but this time it's being times by 4 to the power 7. And again, it's about spotting something regarding this 64. So we know that 64 is equal to 4 to the power of 3. So it's all about spotting that. Then we can rewrite in place of 64 this 4 to the power of 3. So we can change this calculation 64 times 4 to the power of 7 into 4 to the power of 3 times 4 to the power of 7, which we know equals 4 to the power of 3 plus 7, which is 4 to the power of 10. Please copy that down, pause the video, and then try the we do for yourselves as well. Okay, so for the we do, the trick was spotting that 81 is equal to 3 to the power of 4. Then we can write, in place of 81, 3 to the power of 4. So we turn this into 3 to the power 4 times 3 to the power 6, which gives us 3 to the power 10. Okay, so last example, and this time we've got triple multiplication. So 3 numbers here, and we've got 4 to the power 7 in the middle, and we've got 64 and we've got 16. So our trick is to look at 64 and look at 16 and say, how can we rewrite those as a power of 4? So 64 is equal to 4 to the power of 3, 16 is equal to 4 to the power of 2, 4 squared. So in place of 64, let's write 4 to the power 3. In place of 16, let's write 4 to the power 2. So this sum becomes 4 to the power 3 times 4 to the power 7 times 4 to the power 2, which equals 4 to the power of 3 plus 7 plus 2, which equals 4 to the power 12. So please copy that down and then try the we do. Remember, the trick is looking at the middle power, well, that's 3 to the power 6. How can we rewrite 81 and 27 as powers of 3? And then completing it from there. We'll go through the answer in a moment. So for this one, you should have spotted that 81 was equal to 3 to the power 4, 27 equal to 3 to the power 3. And then rewriting it, 3 to the power 4 times 3 to the power 6 times 3 to the power 3, which equals 3 to the power 4 plus 6 plus 3, 3 to the power 13. Really well done if you got that right. It's quite a tricky one, that. So to finish the lesson here, you have 6 questions and you have to write them as a single power as we've just been doing. Please pause the video here for as long as necessary and complete these 6 questions. We'll go through the answers afterwards. So pause the video now, please. And for your answers, 6 answers on the board. Please mark them in green pen, correct any mistakes you may have made, and give yourself a score out of 6. Thank you for listening today, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.